Happy New Year! Welcome to the first show of the new year, Talking To. I am your host, Rufus Bill, and the time is 7:03, and we're so very glad that you are here joining us for our show today. We have a great show coming up. We're going to get us on the right, healthy track. We're going to talk a little bit about current events, and of course, we have all of our hosts that are with us today. So you better believe it's going to be a great show. Tell everybody you know to like, subscribe, and share on this day, January 4th, 2026. Can you believe it? Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. We're so excited to see what this year is going to bring for everybody. And we know it's going to be a spectacular year. Well, with having said all that, we would like to welcome the fragrance of the show, Joanne Tosin Fuller. Joanne Tosin, how are you today? Are you doing all right?
Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's starting out well for you?
It's starting out very well. I don't have any complaints
Awesome.
whatsoever. And how's it going for you today?
I can't complain, not at all. We made it. We made it.
How about that?
I'm telling you.
I'm so glad that we did.
Yeah.
I am having some situations over here that I can't get to the music. I don't know what my screen did, but it did it. However, it's just a minor glitch that I'm sure we can deal with as soon as it stops. So, Joanne, you've been out and about and all around. Give us an update. Where are you? What's been going on with you?
Oh, just busy. You know that holiday stuff. The holidays,
Yes.
the season, and I went on vacation though. So
Yes.
that went on a cruise. So that was good. That was relaxing. It was
Good.
good. Needed it. Didn't want to come back to this weather. You know, when you have 80-degree weather, and then come back to. I think when we got back. And it's like, okay, pilot, you don't have to tell us what we came back to. You know how they not like to announce you arrived in Detroit, Michigan. And the weather here is 19 degrees. There's snow and ice on the ground. Thank you very much. I don't want to get off the plane.
Did you take a coat with you?
No, I just
So
dressed,
when you came back?
No, I just dressed because it had to really be outside. You know, when you pick up your luggage and the ride was already there. And so I did, dress a little warmer. But no, I didn't take a coat or anything. I used to. Remember they used to have lockers in the airport? That was a long time ago. And you could be able to keep some. And that's what I used to do way back when.
Did you?
I'm aging myself on there. But, if you were going somewhere in the wintertime, I would put my coat or whatever and boots and all that because I used to park at the airport when it was cheaper.
Yes, it used to be a lot cheaper.
And so then I would just go and get my coat and stuff out the locker at the airport. But, those days changed a long time ago.
That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure. Well, I know you enjoyed yourself.
I did. I really did. Yes.
That's good. That is good.
It's good. How about you? How was your holiday?
My holidays were very good. I was thinking, spending, very quiet holidays. But I think it was just what I needed. Just what I needed. And so the only regret that I have is that I didn't do anything that I was supposed to. Not one thing. Unfortunately.
I'm gonna say that's okay.
I think I'm
So I have
agree.
some plans to clean out a closet or two and get rid of some stuff. And
No.
whatever.
It didn't work out.
It did not. And I'm not mad.
I know that's right. I'm not mad either. I am still trying to work with this this music, and I don't know what's going on here.
It won't be quiet.
It won't be quiet. And I don't think I want to hear that the entire show. Well, we'll get through it anyway. So, like I said earlier, we're going to have a good show today. We're going to do some current events. We're going to talk with Professor G, who's going to give us some information about health and what we can do to start off the new year, because, you know, everybody always has great plans. And everyone says this is the year that I'm going to get it all together. So he's going to give us some tips on how to do just that.
Okay.
And
I don't do New Year's resolutions anymore.
No. Right. We leave those alone.
I don't want to be mad at myself.
I know.
Upset with myself. So I just say I'm gonna try and do better this year at whatever it is I'm doing.
That sounds like a plan, Joanne.
That's it.
That does.
Yeah.
It really does. All right. So, Joanne, what has been going on in the news today that has really caught your attention?
Oh, do we want to go there? Really?
I don't know. Do we?
I don't know. Well, this Venezuela thing is, you know.
Isn't that something?
I'm not. And maybe I really need to go in and really delve into and research what it's really, really all about. You know, some people say it's not about the drugs. Some people say it's about the oil. Some people say it's about Israel. And I mean, just, you know, how Venezuela gave money to all these other countries that are our enemies and all of that. So I really want to see what it's all about. I really need to really do some research.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think everybody was so shocked about what happened, how it happened. And when I was doing some reading on the whys and the reasoning behind what was going on, I said it's very interesting that no other president ever decided to do that.
Right.
Even though that the same thing was going on.
Right.
I don't know. So it'll be interesting.
I don't know. I need to, yeah. Before I get my, you know, my radical self going. let me do a little more research.
You gonna do a little more research?
A little more research before I start putting up my fist again.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, listen, we're gonna hop right on into our guest today. We're a little early. The time is 7:12, and the temperature currently is 27 degrees. That's cold. Oh, before we go to Professor G, we know that the Lions are playing today.
They are.
Yes.
Okay.
They're playing their final game, and they're in Chicago.
Oh boy.
And you know, everybody is hoping for the best. Hoping for the best.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
Just hope.
That's
Keep
it.
hope alive.
Keep hope alive. But
that's our team, though. But
I know what did you call them? The Pussycats. The Pussycats.
They're not acting like lions. They are not the king of this.
No. I was thinking earlier today. I said, I wonder what happened to all that that grit, that drive,
Yeah.
and I figured it out.
Uh-oh.
They got that first paycheck. they got that money in the hand.
Man, and that's it.
They said this is all we need. They said they're gonna
bonus money and the all the other monies they get if they win. You know, or do they, or is it that mindset of just being content?
It may be content. Contentment.
Instead of, I don't know. And then sometimes I think all this stuff is rigged anyway. Anyhow. So I mean, and I don't know.
Well, I will say this. If the Lions Club and the administration was trying to make money, they did.
They did.
From the last season.
Yes,
the tickets skyrocketed.
Prices, oh my goodness.
And it was unbelievable. I hadn't seen anything like that probably since maybe Barry Sanders. Yeah, I'll say Barry Sanders, where they had all of that the
motivation,
and
grind, and
yes,
let's do this for our city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And to me, and it's just my opinion, and I know I'm not into the sports like that, but you can only blame so much on the GM and the owners and the
right.
Because bottom line is the players out there that are playing.
That's doing the work.
So
you're right.
I'm whacking on the work, because my thing is every game you lose. But if they don't, but I don't know. They get their salary,
right?
And get that bonus. So my thing is every game you lose is a subtraction of a percentage off that bonus.
Yes, I would say.
I guess I'd be the wrong boss.
You would. You'd be like, okay.
Or every game you win, or look on the positive side there. Every game you win, you get a percentage, a bonus percentage. Maybe that's the positive way of saying it.
Yeah, a little incentive. Okay, I feel you. Well, we're going to go right on over to our health and wealth segment, and we are glad to have back with us. He came on about 2 weeks ago. We got familiar with the show and with the listening audience, and with that, we would like to say, welcome, Professor G. How are you doing today? Oh, wait a minute, it's my fault. There you go. Professor G, You good?
Yes, sir. Good evening. How are you two doing?
We're doing great. Happy New Year to you.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Are you ready to go back to work?
No. Answer that one real fast. No, I mean, I am. It's I do enjoy what I do, but obviously I love the time at home. So
yes, I do too.
Yes, absolutely.
I really can agree with that. Today is the time at home, and especially being with family.
Yes, definitely. Especially family members that you don't get to see all the time too.
Exactly. And then some of the ones that you don't want to see in some cases.
Right.
There you go already.
No lies.
Professor G, can you hear us clearly?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, we hear you very well. All right. Well, we want to come on and we want to talk about, as I said earlier in the opening, that this is the time of year everyone makes those plans. And I think up until today, people have probably been eating nonstop, not exercising, maybe planning in their head, Joanne, exactly what they want to do and all of that good stuff. And now we're at the point where we need to buckle down and get it together. And we want to talk to you a little bit about that. First thing we want to talk about, and I'm looking at something that's distracting me, is that that live is right over my face. And I'm afraid to press any button for fear of what that might do.
I don't see it. I see it in the corner.
Yeah, I see you fine.
Oh, it's in the corner. Okay. I'm glad I said something. Because when I look on the screen this way, it's like blocking me. But since we all can see me, oh, I see it now. I'm on the other phone. Okay, I can see it now. Okay, so we want to get right to it. Professor G, listen, when we get ready to do some new things in our body or for our body, inwardly and outwardly, what is your take on body cleanse?
So as far as cleansing your body or detoxing, really the number one thing that I would suggest is to fast or to intermittent fast. To try to work that into your schedule as best as you can and really as quickly as you can. Fasting is the number one tool for healing for any type of illness. And that's the C word as well, as far as cancer goes. But any type of illness, for example, the moment me and my family, we start to feel maybe a little congested or a runny nose or whatever it may be, we right away, we stop eating for at least a good 18, 15 hours. Every day we should really strive to hit at least 12, if not 15. But definitely, I mean, the more prolonged you can sustain a fast, the more benefits your body has. Our body is meant to heal. Our body can heal it. And we do hear that, it's not like new information, because I mean, we get a cut, we heal ourselves, and it is talked about a little bit, but as far as the depth of which we can heal ourselves, that has kind of been kept from us. But we really have the ability to heal ourselves. And as long as we're not expending so much energy constantly on digestion is the number one energy pulling activity that our body goes through. And if we're constantly in the mode of digestion, we're not able to use our body's energy to keep it as well as what we should be keeping it at.
Mm-hmm. So for the sake of those who may not understand about fasting, kind of talk about fasting and the intermediate fasting.
Yeah, so fasting, and when I say fasting, I mean there are dry fasts, which means you consume absolutely nothing, zero water. And I have experimented with that, and if you feel great. But what I'm specifically talking on is the water fasting, when you're only consuming water. You're not consuming any other, no solid foods, no juices. You can have coffee and tea. Those things are acceptable. But for the most part, you're just consuming water only. And that allows your body to not only flush itself out and be clean, but you're not digesting anything. So now any illnesses or diseases or illnesses that you may be feeling or
I think he has lost his connection there a little bit. So we're talking about the fasting and intermediate fasting. Now, Joanne, have you done the intermediate fasting?
I did it a couple years ago, and okay. I want to try it again. It went pretty good. I think it was 10 days that I did where I didn't consume anything before, like anything after 7 o'clock or after 7 p.m. or before 11 a.m.
Okay.
So whole time. So, part of that is kind of easy because you sleep.
Oh.
For me.
Right.
And so it wasn't bad. I know some people do from like first thing in the morning that's hard for me. I tried that, and that's hard. It's hard because I like food. I like food. I like to eat. But yeah. So I was thinking about doing that again, though. Yeah.
I did try the intermediate fasting probably during the summer months, and I found after a first couple of days, that really worked for me.
Yeah.
You know, eating no, not eating after 7, and I think the first meal, like you said, was at 11. And because I think maybe of my schedule, it worked out for me very well.
Okay.
So, you know, sleeping in a little later because I didn't have school, then getting up, it's like 9 o'clock. You pity pat around the house or whatever you're doing, and then it's 11, and then it's on. So, yeah, I kind of I like that. However, now I've tried those to fast all day, no food. Not successful.
Same here.
Not successful
at all. And I don't know if my, willpower is not there or just, it wasn't successful for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never say never that I'll never try it again. I'm not gonna say that, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. Right. All right. Professor G, listen, so we were talking a little bit about fasting, of what we tried, and you left off at the giving us a definition about fasting.
Yeah, first, sorry about that. My laptop died, so I just switched to the mobile real quick.
That's all right.
But yeah, so fasting is just sustaining your body from food. So there's the dry fasting I mentioned, which is consuming no water, no coffee, no tea, no food, absolutely nothing. And then there's, which is the much more common and more of the route that I choose to practice, which is the water fasting, which is that you're only consuming the majority of water. You can have some coffee if you'd like, some tea if you'd like, but only water. And that allows your body to give its energy to sources where it's needed most. And as far as the intermittent fasting, there's the 18-6 rule, where you preferably stop eating at around 7 p.m. the night before, and then you don't eat until midday the next day, until you're about 15 or 18 hours. And then you do all of your eating within a 6-hour window. Now, that doesn't mean obviously that you're eating for that in the entirety of those 6 hours, but maybe you're having one meal at noon and another meal at 5 or 6, and then that's it. So really try to condense your meals to even one meal a day. But I know one is hard in beginning, and with it being the new year, I kind of want to stress the whole keeping it simple. So just really try to have 2, even 3 meals a day. Just try to have them in a 6, even 8-hour window would be obviously acceptable. And just the fact that having the conversation about fasting and showing any type of interest in it, that's one step all by itself. The fact that we're even having these conversations is initially the first step that you can take.
Mm-hmm. So tell me this, Professor G, when you're fasting, either if it's a dry fast or if it's an intermediate fast, is it intermediate, intermittent? Intermittent fast. I'm thinking about the next questions I'm about to ask you about exercise. What are you thinking about? Or are you thinking about anything, or do you feed your mind with some positive affirmations? Tell us.
You definitely have to be in good thoughts, because every fast that someone will participate in, I do numerous fasts, and everyone is different. Each time you do it, it may be simpler, it may be harder. It's hard all the time, and it's really eye-opening, because it makes you see right away how habitual eating has become.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just be sitting there, and all of a sudden you're just subconsciously ending up in the kitchen, and you're not even hungry. You just ate an hour ago. We're not meant to be digesting all of the time. And once you see that, and then you do your own research on certain topics, you really realize that it's been programmed in us that we have to have 3-4 meals a day, snacks in between. My daughter will go to a camp, and it's like a 2-hour clinic, and they're like, make sure you bring a snack. And I'm like, it's only 2 hours. We don't need to bring snacks, but that's not anyone's fault. That's what they're all programmed and told. But that's not how we as humans are designed. We don't need all of that to survive and even to perform at a high level. We're capable of doing those things as long as we're giving ourselves the correct nutrition when we are eating.
So question,
Yes.
with the water fast, could you add anything to the water? Like I love lemon water.
Yep. Lemon water
So
is
is that okay?
lemon water is great.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
And
And it
then
just
that,
adds
And
flavor for me too. It adds like it's like I'm getting something besides water too.
right,
For me.
right. And that's
For me.
a great step too, because everyone obviously water doesn't have much of a taste, but that's one step in the right direction. And really, even if you wanted to start a little bit lighter and just try a juice fast, where maybe only for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, however you choose, maybe you're only juicing, rather if that be some vegetables if you want, but preferably fruit. And if you're just juicing, or even just eating fruit itself, but if you were just juicing, only consuming the juices from the fruit and the nutrition in that way, that would be a subtle step to kind of introduce yourself to fasting, because it is tough. Obviously, eating is very enjoyable, but the thing is that it's become more of a mental enjoyment than an actual physical body, what you need
requirement.
Exactly.
I know the last fast for me was hard, and I don't know why. Like you said, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. But it was like the whole time, okay, 11 o'clock, this is what I'm going to eat. 11 o'clock, this is what I'm going to eat. 11 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock, it's going to be here real soon. So it's like my mind was constantly on, okay, I'm going to eat 11 o'clock, and I'm going to get this, and I'm going to eat that, and I'm going to eat that.
And that's how it is.
The last one was hard for me. It was really hard.
It's 100% a mental battle. You bring up fasting, people just think about physically, how are you going to feel? Well, you feel great. You feel amazing. You have a little bit more mental clarity. You are energetic. People pretend if you don't eat for a little bit that you're just going to like whittle away and that'll be it. But you still feel strong. You have mental clarity, definitely. But sometimes that gets me through a few hours just thinking about what I'm going to eat. Like you plan it out real well, and then when it happens, and that's really where enjoyment comes. That's why when we have these holidays and we get together with our families, or when we even go out to eat, that's why having those meals is supposed to be a special thing, because we're not supposed to be eating all the time. It's like an activity. You're supposed to be eating once or twice a day, and you are thankful and you enjoy those times, and then you move on with whatever else you have to take care of.
So it's that old saying, eat to live, not live to eat.
Yes, exactly.
You know, my mother, and the time is 7:31, and you're experiencing talking with Joanne Tosin Fuller and Professor G, our health and wealth coach. And my mother, she used to do the juice fast 3 days straight. She did apple juice. I think it was 2 cups, maybe every 6 hours.
Okay.
And I would just simply be amazed that she would actually, be able to do it for the 3 days. And, one time I asked her, I said, well, how does this make you feel? And she would mention the clarity of the mind. And, my mother was a Sabbath school teacher. And so she would really dive into preparing her lessons for her students. And she also said, I can also be a little more keener keeping up with you and seeing what you're doing when my mind is clear. I said, please don't. Don't get any clearer with trying to keep up with me. You're doing a pretty good job of it.
But that speaks to the power and strength that not having to go through digestion can have on your brain function. So much more energy is able to go to your brain, where pathways that you would expect and assume are there to be able to connect certain thoughts, they're not. And it opens up when you have clarity. I try to go every day, Monday through Friday at work. I don't eat while I'm at work. I do not. I like to be as on point as I can be. Okay. And then feel it. It's once you do it a couple of times, you begin to notice it. You feel it right away when you take that first bite of something.
once you're like halfway through an apple or a banana, you can feel it right away that something just changes in your biological.
In your body.
Yeah, you can feel it immediately.
I often see you with your jug, your
Yep.
water.
Yep. I try. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go right ahead.
I tried to drink, I think maybe, I'm not even sure how many ounces it is exactly, maybe 16 or maybe 21. I try to drink maybe 2 or 3 of them a day.
Okay. Oh, wow.
But
What about this theory? Oh,
say that again.
what about this theory of the water you should be drinking every day is your age plus your weight divided by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking every day? Is
Wow.
that?
That is intense. I've never heard that before. That's to me something like that, and I haven't looked into that specifically, but just hearing it, it's something that would fall under the category of making things too complicated. We just need to, when you're thirsty, drink some water. But to be honest, the most quality of water that we can drink is in our food, and that's our fruit. Fruit has water in it that is the same structure water that we have in our bodies. So like the water you would have in a glass of water, that's not the same water molecular wise that it is coming from a fruit.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So that's why they say melons are excellent, and when it comes to hydration and all of that. Okay.
Yeah, because they have a very high water content.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So first thing we want to do is cleanse and detox, as you coined it, fasting, and let's go into some exercises for the various levels. And I'm going to start with the beginning level. What type of exercise do you suggest that we should do?
So if you're just starting off, again, don't put no pun intended, but don't put too much weight on your shoulders right away. Take it simple. Just do some walking, maybe some planks, like in a push-up position, but you're just holding the position. Even just going up and down on your toes, so you're standing up on your tiptoes, kind of flexing your leg muscles. The soleus in your leg muscles, your calf muscle, that is a muscle that is much more involved in our health than we were led to believe. So when you're working your calf muscle, it actually pulls unnecessary sugar or excess sugar out of your blood. That's why they say walking will lower your blood sugar, because you're using that muscle. So even just doing like calf raises where you're standing up and down, that's beneficial, and that's very minimal. You could even do that while you were sitting down, to be honest, if you're able to go out for a walk. And then just holding your body weight. That's maybe more even intermediate, but just being able to support your body weight regardless of the position. Rather, if you're just laying on your back and you have your legs elevated and you're just holding your legs at a certain angle and lowering it and lowering it and lowering it, that's working your core muscles, which is very important. Doing planks, like I said, wall sits, squats are good, but I would definitely put squats more in the intermediate level, because those are that can definitely get your legs feeling it the next day.
Now, I want to go back to when you said that calf. So what other than walking is a good calf exercise?
Well, walking, jogging, obviously are in the same category. And just like those calf raises I was talking about, where you're just literally standing still and just kind of going up onto your toes so you can feel it flex and tighten. And using that muscle helps regulate your blood sugar.
So I'm sitting right now, and what I'm doing, I'm going up on my tiptoes, then I'm coming down. Is that?
That's the movement right there.
That's the movement. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Obviously, more beneficial the more active you are.
Right.
Sitting there rather actually going for the walk or a light jog, but you would still reap some benefit from it.
All right, Joanne.
Awesome. So I exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week. So I'm either at the gym or I'm doing Pilates.
And that's perfect.
So I'm still at level 1.5 on the Pilates. I kind of stay right there. I'm I want to move up, but I need to motivate myself.
I was gonna say, it's okay, though. Even
But I'm
though
just
you may
glad
want
to be there.
but that's okay though. Even though you may want to personally do a little bit more, also at the same time, you got to be proud of yourself for where you're at, because there are a lot of people that are wanting to just be able to say, oh, I really want to get to 1.5 times a week. There are people who are still trying to make that first step. So at the same time, even though I do know what it's like to personally do more or do better or more often, but also give yourself a pat on the back when you deserve it.
And you know what? And I do. Because and I realize, and just sharing with others, I realize that even for me, when I'm tired, sometimes I wake up in the morning. I try to be at the gym about 6:30 in the morning. So even when I'm tired, I have to talk myself into going. But after I go,
Yes.
I feel so much better.
I
and
know.
It's like, oh, I'm glad I came, because
Yeah.
I feel it's like the exercise literally gives me more energy.
Yes. I mean, that's
Really
actually technically what happens as far as it's like a dopamine hit, and the endorphins that you're releasing, that's definitely it. And one of the reasons why it's so hard is because your reward doesn't come until after you put in the work. And so many people these days, they want the reward now. They want it now. I mean, who wouldn't want it now? You know, that's
Right.
And I think about it, they get it.
Yeah, right. But you have to put in the work, and that's why it's tough.
Yeah.
And see, my problem, I fall in that category, guys. I want the reward now. So the first thing that I see that has changed, if my pants are not as tight, or I have on a shirt that I haven't worn in a minute, and I look and I'm there, that always throws me off, because it goes to my head. I think I think my accomplishment is greater than what it is. And then I slack off. And then when I look up again, the shirt is tight and the pants can't be buttoned. What?
I'll do that, Rufus, for real.
For real. What? How can we keep our mindset focused?
Yes, help.
It's definitely hard, especially when the ads that you see and across, whatever, you're on your phone or Pandora and certain commercials, it's everywhere in your face too. As if you don't want it already, as if these foods aren't made to have you coming back to get more. Now we have to struggle with the mental part of it as well. And that carries over to the exercise portion of it too. It's all tied together. And the people who are in charge of the commercials and all of these things and creating the food, not growing the food naturally, but creating it, right. They all know what they're doing. They all know. It's not a secret.
It's a gimmick, definitely is, and the bottom line is the money.
Yes.
So we have a beginner. So what can we do if we're on the intermediate level for exercise?
Intermediate level, I would say maybe go through more with the motions, as far as maybe now you're doing jumping jacks, maybe now you're actually doing push-ups, you're adding squats in. And when I say push-ups and squats, I'm not saying you're knocking out 30 to 40 push-ups. I'm saying you're doing 5 to 10 push-ups, taking a 30-second break, and doing 5 and 10 more push-ups, and that's it for that day. That's it. That's very simple. Maybe you do 10 jumping jacks twice, and that's it. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but let yourself adapt as far as even schedule-wise. Let me get this into my routine first, and then I can add, because that'll make it a lot easier too, because that's half the battle, is just getting it into your routine. Once something is in your routine, it's much easier to continue the consistency of it.
Yes. Now, Joanne just made a comment earlier about her timing, that she goes to the gym. She strives for early morning, 6:30. Now, all the time while I was off on vacation, one of my main goals, Professor, was to incorporate a time in the morning that would be prior to me going to work. I wasn't successful in it. I didn't even look that way. Maybe one time in the 2 weeks I worked out. But how can we get out of that? And how do we design and create a great space to do exercises?
Well, for one, it comes down to discipline, really, as far as being able to practice what you preach, sort of speak. And, that could help yourself with even providing yourself more sleep as far as for the things that you're doing prior to bed. Make sure that you go to sleep, you're getting quality hours because you're going to be getting up early. And it's tough. I get up very early myself in the morning. But as far as enough space, keep it simple so you don't need a lot of space, so that you don't need a lot of equipment. A lot of people, when they talk about exercise, they want to get all these huge muscles and they want to get real ripped, and just do functional exercises so that you can be mobile as we age, so that you can still be active. We don't need to be benching 300 pounds when we're 50 years old. There's no need for that. That's not natural. But to be able to do 15, 20 push-ups, that's something that we should be able to do. That's healthy.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds doable.
Yes. And I know for me, it's that time for me because I'm not one to be able to go after work because I'm fatigued. I'm tired. My mind is, I work with folks all day long, so I'm done. So that time for me, I had to realize that's my time. My phone's not ringing. Nobody's trying to get a hold of me. That's really just my time. I'm in my space. I really don't want to work out with anybody unless I've had trainers before, and that was okay because they were doing it. It was more of a job. But you know how sometimes you have friends and stuff who want to say, "Oh, let's work out together." No, I don't want to do that because this is my time.
Right.
Yeah.
Either I'm listening to my music, or sometimes I'm just focused on what I'm doing. So that's why I try to go. I set that and most people are not up. The ones who are up are probably going to work or whatever. But that's what I had to do for me. I had to figure out what was good for me.
Same.
And that was good for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I will add
I like a lot of people around me when I'm exercising. So for me, after 7:30, 8 o'clock, the gym gets too crowded for me.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's what I had to do. It's realize or figure out what's good for you and why you will do this every day or every other day. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I will add that there's not many better feelings than walking out of the gym at 7:30 and you already did your thing today. You're all set the whole rest of the day. And then when you don't go one morning, it kind of throws off your whole day. You just don't feel the same.
Mm-hmm. You know what I always find interesting when I go to the gym and I see people working out, namely guys, and all of this is fit, this arms and legs, chest, but they still have a big belly. What is causing that? Or what do you think it is? Have you all ever seen that at the gym or just working?
Oh, yeah.
working and they're walking around like this.
Like they work out their mouths just as much as they work out their biceps.
I think it's just an interesting look, and so I try to really be conscious of, especially spending time on the ab area, and I've seen a lot of things recently on social media, like you said, simplicity, some simple things you can do for the lower abs. And the upper abs, I'm probably not describing them correctly, but in your ab area.
Your core.
Your core, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to keep that in mind because that look is not really what I want. And like you said, after certain ages, some of that it is a little too much. So we did beginners, intermediate, advanced exercise.
Advanced exercises would be maybe the amount and quantity that you're doing of certain activities. For example, push-ups or pull-ups. Mm-hmm. I do a ton of pull-ups and a ton of push-ups every morning, and then a couple days a week I'll work out with weights. Now, when I work out when I work out with weights, I'm not trying to quote unquote bulk up. I'm just trying to remain fit and strong. Like I'm not doing a lot of weight, but I'm going to do it like 10 or 12 times, and then I'll switch to a different exercise.
Okay.
And then the intensity, as far as even endurance goes, if you're able to just walk, speed walk, jog, whatever you're able to do just to build up your endurance as well, that's very beneficial for your lungs. And even mentally, while you're going, you kind of enter a state of meditation once you hit a certain part and you're running, they call it like a runner's high, where once you're going for like 12 to 15 minutes, certain chemicals are released in your body that it's like you reach almost the same frequency as you would as if you were meditating. And that's when I kind of, it's like your alone time, but yet you're running either on a treadmill or outside, and it feels good to reach that point.
Now, you said something that sparked my interest, the pull-ups. How many pull-ups can you do, Professor?
I haven't tried to see how many I could do at one time, but I do about 65, about 4 or 5 days a week.
Really?
Yes.
Awesome.
That is awesome. That is very good. Okay. So you've given us some tips about the cleansing, the detox, exercise levels. Joanne, what do you have next?
I guess we did the event, so now it's what, the eating?
Yes.
The eating. I know some people like to live on salads. They think that's the only thing, but I found that salads can be fattening too, because of all the stuff we put on salads.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to salad dressing. So give us some tips on some healthy salads.
The first thing I'll say is, when you can, try to make sure you are striving at least to buy as much organic lettuce as you can. Lettuces and different leafy greens are very, very highly sprayed with pesticides and insecticides, and those are extremely damaging to our neurological system, our nervous system. So definitely, when you can, try to buy organic. Obviously, there's times when you can't and whatnot, but when you can, try to buy organic. And just like you said, it's not the salad that is making someone gain weight. It's very much more likely the dressings and things that are put on them. Mm-hmm. So even just try like some olive oil and some Himalayan salt, just to keep it simple. That's often what my wife will use. I myself, I'm not a big salad eater, but and even try to limit croutons. Try to keep it where it's more garden based than it is ingredients being put together. Okay.
I found that, like for me, especially when it comes to the salad dressings, because I used to have salad with my dressing. But what I've started doing is not putting the dressing on my salad anymore. I put it on the side and I just kind of dip, and it's something how I realized, man, you don't really need all of that. Mm-hmm. And you don't use a third or a fourth of the salad dressing when you just dip just for the taste. Because there's certain salad, like I love raspberry vinaigrette, I love balsamic vinaigrette, but I dip instead of now pouring it on top of. And then be careful with all, like you said, be careful with all the stuff you put on top.
Yeah, right. And then if you take it home, it's not all soggy in the box.
Right.
Definitely.
But to be honest, to go back to it again, that even though that seems like something small, how many people do you see doing that? So the fact that you're
very rare.
The fact that you're eating mindfully and that you are aware of something that you should limit, that speaks volumes in itself.
What are some of the
those are the right steps.
What are toppings that we should stay away from other than the croutons?
Croutons, the dressings, obviously, they're huge issues. Try to keep it more. Like, I'm not a real big fan of spinach. I'm not a real big fan of kale. I know kale has gotten
really. Okay, why? I don't know why. Because I love spinach.
I've learned that a lot of vegetables have certain properties in them that, as far as like defense chemicals, that we necessarily shouldn't be having as a part of our diet. Now, medicinally, though, that's different because we're not going to be consuming that often. But as far as every day, a couple times a day, they have chemicals in them. So they're plants, and all plants are living beings, and they want to stay a living being. And if we eat them, they die. So they can't run. They're stationary. They can't fight back. They don't have teeth or arms. So plants have toxins in them that they release when they're being bit into or pulled from the ground. That's why sometimes, or they have spikes that are on them, or like poison, very easy example. But they have certain properties in them that are cancerous and that they can cause other certain issues as well if you're consuming them on the regular. You know, and some of them not even just once a day, but multiple times a day. But if you're just using it here and there, and I'm not trying to scare anyone away, I'm a huge believer as well as far as consuming whole foods. I would rather eat spinach and kale rather than having a bag of nachos or whatever, or pizza or whatever it may be. But I would put fruit over vegetables. I would much be more an advocate for fruit than I would a vegetable.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
That's really interesting.
And I never realized that plants have certain things in them that they need to stay alive, and that if it's upset, it could be harmful. You know, if it's disturbed. That reminds me of one of the episodes of Star Trek when they were out in the garden pulling the plants, and the plants were screaming, and because they were being disturbed. And I never thought about it being true to life, but I guess so. Like, just like they said, don't disturb poison ivy.
Right. Now some of the plants are meant to be ate. I mean, there are plants that we're not supposed to be eating, but also there are plants that we can eat. And I'm not trying to scare anybody away from vegetables. Like I said, I am, with what I am currently learning, I'm a much bigger supporter of whole foods in general, regardless if that's spinach or kale or cabbage, or if it's an apple or a banana, or even if it's meat. You know, as long as it's a whole food and it doesn't have all these additives and preservatives and food coloring, you know, let's keep it actual food, a whole food, and not what I like to kind of joke around and call like a science project, where things are just ingredients are just being put together literally in a lab, and they're just being punched with the label on it, and now they're being sold for $3.
Especially a lot of the, I'm noticing a lot of the what they call quote unquote plant-based.
Yes.
So is that kind of what you're talking about a little bit also? Because it seems like everybody now has a plant-based something.
Yep. And honestly, plant-based isn't bad. And people, like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, just the fact that you are eliminating processed and unprocessed foods is going to be monumental on someone's lifestyle and health. But plant-based, like a plant-based burger patty, I wouldn't eat something like that. But I mean, as long as the ingredients are very few and far, like I'm talking like 2 or 3 or 4 ingredients, and preferably organic. But if you have to look something up and there's a paragraph of ingredients, what are we really eating? You know, what are we, how bad are you trying to eat something if you're going to put 10 different ingredients together just so you can experience it for a few minutes?
Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting. I treated myself last night, and I was a big fan of fettuccine and Alfredo. And about 2 weeks ago, I was reading something where it said when you eat Alfredo, your body goes into overtime trying to process all of the ingredients that make the Alfredo. I had never heard that, nor had I ever read it. Now, I hadn't had that in a while, but I treated myself last night, and I had a couple bites, and for some reason, my body just, it didn't like it. Now, when I was eating it regularly, I didn't notice any kind of, any weird feeling. But since it had been maybe like 6 or 7 months and I tasted, of course it was good. But that second swirl around the fork and I ate it, and then I was watching TV, so I got interested in whatever I was watching. And then I just started feeling funny, not sick, but just funny. Like you said earlier, if you're drinking water all day and then you eat a piece of fruit or something, how you instantly know that there's a change in your body. And I was able to detect that I feel different.
Yep. And that's good that you're aware of what your body is trying to tell you. If you were to fast for 15 or 18 hours a couple of times, and then eventually strive to knock out a 24-hour fast, you'll feel that reintroducing certain foods, your body will tell you, no, that's not what we should be eating. And you have to be very intuitive to what your body is trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So Rufus, I have to say I did the same thing.
Yep.
Did you?
I did the same thing this week. I said, okay, New Year's coming. So I was out in Novi and I went to Cheesecake Factory.
Oh.
And got a piece of cheesecake. And I hadn't had it, and I can't remember the last time I had a piece. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat down, and I knew I can't eat one of those slices. It takes me 3 or 4 days to eat one of those slices.
Okay.
But this one day, I'm sitting there eating it, and it was just like, oh. I mean, I didn't want to. It wasn't that I wanted to throw up, but it was that feeling of like, ugh. Yeah, it was just that feeling. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I won't be going back. I won't be doing this anytime soon again. But really, it was weird because I know they're rich in just, all the stuff. And I just got a basic one of my key lime. I love key lime.
Okay.
But yeah.
It didn't have the same.
My body told on me, and it did not have. It was like, wow. That was some wasted calories. Just messed up. But I don't beat myself up like, really bad.
Right.
But it was just that feeling of like, ugh, ooh, it didn't sit well.
That brought up a very good question for me, for Professor G. So I know we eating fruit and salads and watching what we eat. What can you suggest is there anything other than fruit that can be used as like a dessert after your meal? Or should we just stick to fruit, or just not even concern ourselves with a sweet top off?
Honestly, not to be boring or dull, but as far as the best option, fruit is for sure the best option. There's this phrase and treat that parents buy kids. My parents used to buy them for me, called fruit snacks. But truthfully, the real fruit snack is real whole fruit. That's really what we should be eating. Rather if that's dried fruit, and you can dip that in a quality organic cacao chocolate. You can dip that in something. But as long as it's not you'll be fine. Just limitations. Just be smart. Be mindful, and obviously allow yourself to have certain things every once in a while, but consistency is key.
That's true. That is true. Joanne, do you have anything else for Professor G?
Oh, I've learned a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
Very informative. Very informative.
You know what? I do have one other. So I'm gonna go back to the lettuces. So I know they talk about how iceberg lettuce has no nutritional value, and some people love iceberg, some people dog iceberg. That's just how I put it. Mm-hmm. But are there certain lettuces, like you say, how you felt about spinach and kale, but are certain lettuces that are really have a lot more nutrients? Or I guess that's the only way to put it, nutrient base that you feel. I know a lot of people are on the romaine kick. Or maybe it's not a kick. Maybe I shouldn't put it like that. But a lot of people use romaine.
Right.
And I like romaine. I mix romaine and spinach.
I do too.
So,
Yeah, honestly, as far as comparisons, I haven't really researched much into that. I know my wife is a much bigger salad eater than I am, and she's over here saying that she's vouching for romaine lettuce if you were to choose. And then strive for organic all the time for all of your produce when you
whatever
can.
it is. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely something. Because I mean, I always say if there's two things being sold and one's claiming to be organic and the other one's not, which means that they're not sprayed with anything, and one's not even bothering to say that, even because I have heard, organic is just a labeling scam to try to get more money, and to be honest with you, that may be true for some instances, but if I'm being told that I can buy this food that's claiming to not be sprayed, and this food's just not even trying to tell you they haven't been sprayed, I have to at least pay
We're going with the spray. Non-sprayed, rather.
You're right.
And I do have a question with that because I garden.
Okay.
And so I don't use any what do they call it, pesticides or anything like that when I garden.
Okay.
But if you're farming, how do you keep the bugs and all of that away? How do those organic farmers keep the bugs away? Are they still using something to keep all of that away from their foods? So is it that is not, how sometimes, especially with labels, sometimes it's not that, but it's still something that they're using to,
Right.
It might not be what we think of as pesticides, but it's still something that needs to keep the bugs and all of that away from the foods.
Right. I would honestly say, and it's something that doesn't really get looked into much, it's the quality of, one reason at least, is the quality of the soil that we are working with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like just the air itself these days is not as clean as what it was, 70, 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they spray the sky all the time, so that's falling onto our soil. We're pulling up trees and ripping up all of these natural environments that damages how the soil responds. And the soil is what feeds the seeds, and the seeds sprout, and that's what we eat and consume. So even certain foods that are grown from the ground, they're not nearly to the quality nutritionally speaking is what they once were.
Right.
Well, Professor G, in closing, do you have anything else that you want to share with us?
No, it's the start of the new year. So just like we mentioned earlier, just keep it simple. Don't put too much weight on your back, no pun intended, and just strive to be successful each day. And don't hate on yourself too hard. If you have an off day, just get back at it the next day.
Sounds like a winner. Well, Professor G, give our best regards to your family, and we thank you for being our coach for our next 12 weeks. And he's going to be on with us once a month in our next set of shows. So we're looking forward to that. And thank you so much. And thanks for going over or being able to stay over in that one segment. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I guess I will see you when I see you on tomorrow.
I will be
back to life, back to reality.
Definitely. Have a great evening, Professor G.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Joanne.
Yes, sir.
You know what I wanted to ask you about?
Mm-hmm.
When you and Maestro G went to Chicago for the recording of that concert, was that Ricky Dillard?
Yes.
Did that CD come out?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. It came out. It came out a few months later. It did.
Oh, I was wondering about that about a week ago. I guess I slept on that.
Yeah.
I did not know that it had come out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know you at this time you know about Richard Smallwood.
I was devastated, devastated, devastated. That was the man. He
Yes,
was the man. And you know what? And it's just my feelings, but he never got the due that he deserved.
never.
He never got the credit that he deserved. This man was classically trained.
Yes.
He was, and I just that was always my opinion. That was always my issue with the gospel community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is that he was one of those who never got his due.
Mm-hmm.
To me, his recognition. But yeah.
And when I think of musicians on that level that he is, I think of like an Elton John,
Mm-hmm.
Liberace,
Mm-hmm. Because he was truly a musician.
truly a musician. What is the man's name? The African American guy, pianist. His name escapes me. I saw him in concert once.
Jazz or
He was jazz.
Herbie Hancock?
Or Herbie Hancock. Now I wasn't thinking about Herbie.
Okay.
I think his name began with an M. But anyway, he ranked very high. And although the gospel community said he was so good, I don't even think they really promoted his talent as it was.
Because when you listen to his music, it was on a different level.
Mhm.
And I'm not down on anybody.
Anyone, right?
But it was on a different level than your typical gospel music,
Mm-hmm.
with the harmonies, the notes, the arrangements. You can tell that there was a classical background.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell, and so I think that's part of the reason is because he was not the typical gospel artist.
Gospel art, that's right. You're right. You know, I just saw, and this was probably about a month ago, and he had gone somewhere to some choir that he heard singing Total Praise. And he injected himself to their rehearsal. He said, "You all are singing my song wrong."
Oh, is that the one where he taught all the parts, the correct parts?
You saw that too?
I saw that video. Yes. Yeah, I saw that. He was teaching them all the correct parts.
Exactly.
You know how we like to make up our own parts, because I know
we do it in a minute.
I do it. If I don't know it, I'm gonna make it
Make
gonna
it
sound good,
work.
but it might not be the right one. But
But
yeah, I
here
saw
it
that
is.
where he was teaching them the right parts.
Mm-hmm. That I was just amazed at that. And you know, sometimes when I'm in rehearsal and I'm teaching a song, and then I go back to hear it or listen to them, you know, sing it back to me, I said, "How do you all of you sing the wrong note at the same time?" I said, "I didn't even teach that. How did you all get there?" And of course, the most famous line that people will say, "Well, don't worry about that. We let the Holy Spirit come in and do it right."
It sounded good. Because you know that you have what they call gospel chords.
Yes.
So you know you have your basic gospel chords. But with Richard, Mr. Smallwood, even though some had his basic gospel chords, but but a lot of his music did not have what we call the basic gospel
chords.
And that's why you had to learn his parts.
You had to learn it.
Because they were not the typical. Yeah, the basic gospel chords would work, but if that's not how he wrote it, or anybody, if that's not how they wrote it, then we need to learn and respect them enough to say, let's get this right, let's do this, and not just put something together just because. Yeah.
And you know, I stayed away from teaching Total Praise because of the intricate notes that were in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the intricate parts. Now I can, like, if someone says, you know, I want to sing it, well, I can play around it. You know, I can play it.
Right.
But I never even ventured to teach it. I attempted when I was learning it, And I said, man, what was that? Going back? What did he do there?
You
Go
hear
back.
those parts, and it's like, no, that's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
I said, they not professional. We not doing that. Jesus, keep me near the cross.
Please, look, please.
You can't mess that up.
Well, no.
Hopefully. Well, Joanne, it's been a delight as always, and we're going to be on break for 12 weeks, and we come back the Sunday after Easter.
Yeah.
And well,
Wow.
there may be some things that maybe we may need to discuss that we'll do a special edition to,
Oh, that sounds
but
good.
for our listeners and because it's a current event or something of that nature. But I want to publicly thank you so much for your sacrifice of your time and being so committed to the show. And it's very, I am very appreciative to you.
Thank you. I'm honored. I am so honored. I am. I appreciate you. Yeah.
And you all got anything going on at church this coming Sabbath?
No, we had our dedication of just the New Year dedication of officers and
Okay.
the members this yesterday.
Okay.
So nothing special, but Sabbath is always special.
Yes, it is. Do you all have different choirs on different Sabbaths, or is it just one choir?
Right now we only have 3 functioning choirs.
Okay.
The women's choir and our church choir, and then our children's choir.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Well, I'm gonna make it my plan to get over there.
Please. Come.
Yes, more. I definitely will. Definitely will. Well, listen, Joanne, have a wonderful evening, a great week, and we will be in contact.
Yes. Back to the grind.
Back to the grind. Yikes. Here we go.
Break is coming soon.
Have a great one, Joanne.
Please.
All right.
Okay.